This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates in central Iowa companies.
Amplified.
Yeah, but people assume I just roll with it. I was like, listen, I'm not gonna do a disclaimer.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, let's be real. Let's be honest.
We already
Say what?
soft open.
Oh, okay.
Once that claps,
Oh, I didn't realize.
once that claps, it's popping.
It's so funny because this happened last time, but I just didn't realize. I keep forgetting. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But what was I gonna say? I mean, that is the best mental health boost, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Anytime that you can feel free to move however you want, in the aspect of like having funds.
We're
and
getting
whatnot.
this right. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Having funds and whatnot, I think that's like it beats it. You no one can touch you, honestly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but that could be a good thing or a bad thing too.
Being untouchable?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. There's something about like just when you're in your mental health, you eliminate as many variables as possible. It becomes easier and easier to tackle. It's one of those things that like if you got some other stuff going on. So it's like what I'm trying to say is like the money is a thing, but it isn't always just money.
No, I agree.
It's like if you can whittle it down to just the thing, just the thing that's throwing you off internally. Yeah, that's the easiest journey.
No, I mean, I completely agree with that. Like, I think there's an aspect of, like, I don't know, being mentally, even, because I've been there, too, of, like, where I've not been financially safe, but mentally safe. Yeah. And, like, sometimes those are the best times, too, of being, like.
How long does that mental safety hold up under the weight of.
I mean, not that long. But at least long enough to get my next paycheck. You know what I mean? Right. Of where it's like because you know that there's a safety net coming, right? Sure. There's an aspect of like, oh, there will be something coming next that will get me out of this. So it's like just being broke for like a week or two is not hope going. Yeah, exactly.
The audacity.
No, for sure. But yeah, but then like again, kind of like what we were gonna talk about today. Like I think you kind of lose hope after a certain period of time, especially when we're talking, especially during grief and like grieving. Mm-hmm. And I think that is something that I think I haven't really heard discussed in a lot of different realms, in the aspect of like, what does grief truly look like? Mm-hmm. But then like, especially in Black spaces, I don't think many people talk about the aspect of what it looks like, or what that looks like, or how it manifests itself.
Yeah, I think we should touch on that. But first, I should say what's up.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up? Welcome back to Brothers Gonna Work It Out. You've successfully navigated through another cold open. So appreciate y'all for joining us today. We got a repeat with the homie.
Two times.
With the homie Cameron Gray. Yeah, this one ain't gonna be as light as the last one, is it?
Nah.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Because Cameron hit me up, was like, listen, I gotta talk about grief. I was like, bet, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But I love talking about heavy stuff, so I'm with it.
Well, I mean, it's just.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, it's just something that's been plaguing me for the betterment of this whole year. Not the whole year, but like half of the year, I would say. On May 30th, I got a phone call from my mother saying like, hey, this might be and I was at work, mm-hmm. and she was like, hey, this might be your grandmother's last day on earth. I was like, what? Because I'm like, my grandma's gone through a lot, mm-hmm. in the aspect of like health issues in the last. Funny enough, when I came to see you for the first time, not here, but perform the piano lesson, I was literally getting a call from my mother saying, hey, your grandmother fell down a flight of stairs and broke her leg. and was like, had to like basically climb 16 flights of stairs to get back to her door.
Wow.
Because like she has like concrete, she had like these brick stairs that she would always like walk down every single day to go get the newspaper and walk back up.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little slippery today and she fell. It's like yelling, no one could hear her. And so then she had to like save her. She's not gonna just stay there, you know. My grandma ain't like that. So she like literally on arms and her basically using her arm strength got all the way to the flight of stairs and called the ambulance and they came to scoop her. But I got that phone call right before your show that night, and my mom was like, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that everything's okay. Like, don't worry. Don't." He's like, "The only reason we're calling you is because we know that you probably be on a flight, here in the next hour or two,
right,
if necessary." She was like, "No, everything's fine." And so then like she had that issue, and then like there was other issues that with the healing of the leg that then like became septic, and then they had to amputate, and then it's like, she gone through the ringer, and like there's been multiple, like during that particular time there was one time that they thought that she like called my aunt and my dad and was like, "Hey, I just want to get everything in line just in case if this to go south," and like that was tough because I was like, "Oh, okay," like, and so
tough because like even she senses it.
Say what?
Tough because in that moment even she sensed it.
Well, she thought. And so then like I had plans. I was at home while this is happening too. And so instead of like going out with friends and seeing that, I just stood. I like literally, my dad went up there like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I'll just stay up and like I'll just go with you and I'll just sit by her side for about 8 hours.
And when is this? Because like so the accident happens in 2023.
Correct.
The fall happens in 2023. Getting the affairs in order happens when?
Yeah, getting all that stuff happens in, I want to say May, April, somewhere around that particular
of this year.
No.
Of 2024?
Of 2023.
Okay, same year.
So she made it. So like, she
Yeah.
thought she was going to die. So I'm like spending time with her. Like, okay, let me just give my time and just like make sure that I'm like, because I wanted to be there anyway and like just, be with her or whatever. And then she makes it. Totally fine. Gets out. Gets on like a walker and like starts walking with the missing amputated leg and like was killing it. And so then like no issues for 2024 or 2023, the end of 2023 and also the end of 2024, everything was good. And then like this year it was just like she was straight all throughout the year, no issues. Maybe like little like blood sugar or something like that, like nothing too serious. And so then like my aunt was taking us somewhere, and then she like passed out while she was in the passenger side, and thankfully they were going to the doctor anyway, so they just got something checked out and made sure like everything was straight. And then like she just had low blood sugar, so she like they kept her overnight for a little bit, but then she came back home, and then she went back in because it went down. But like again, I've seen this before. Excuse me. Ain't no difference between what I've seen before and what's happening now. And so then, like, when my mom was telling me all this, I was like, "Oh, grandma she's doing good." And like, I was like, "All right, cool." And so then, like, was up and about and like talking and all that kind of stuff. And then, so I'm like just trying to focus on work. Just got this new job, trying to get my life back financially stable and all this other stuff. And then, like I said, May 30th, she called me and was like, "Hey, this might be it." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Your aunt, you said she.
My mom will call. My mom will call me because like my mom's going there every single week. Mm-hmm. This is actually in the hospital that my mom worked in, so it's like so she can always keep an eye on my grandmother. Like, but then she also can make sure that the doctors are actually taking care of my grandmother the way she needs to be taken care of, because of her position, she can look at the toxic, she can see what medicine she's been giving, all this other stuff. My mom's a pharmacist and runs the pharmacy department at our hospital. So she was like very aware of what was given to her, making sure that she wasn't being overdone or anything to that degree. Right. So that's always really nice to have. It's a blessing because a lot of people don't have that opportunity when ailing family members in the hospital.
Like an expert and an advocate.
Exactly. But also knows best to see, like, make sure that things aren't being messed up or, you know, no abuse is happening to some degree.
For sure.
So she gave me a phone call. I'm like losing it kind of. And I was like, I can't be at work right now. I was like, I can't do what I'm supposed to. I'm not going to help the team out. I'm just going to bring them down because my mind is just elsewhere. And so then I get out, and then like later on that night, they called me. It was like, hey, this is, because I was going to call her like literally, because I was like, I haven't heard back from them in a while. And so I literally called them at like 9 o'clock. And my mom was like, well, you called at the perfect time because like she just literally left. And so, yeah, I just went. I don't know. Like I think from that moment on, I think I just lost my mind for three months. And what I mean by that is that
from 9 p.m. on May 30th
until it's over. Like it's like I had never. So I've had a lot of loss happen to me in the last 3 years. Like I had a friend pass away. Then I had my cat pass away, which I didn't know that was going to affect me that much, to be honest with you. Then again, like I've never had a pet before. I never had one. And so like that was the first.
Which one was that?
Panther.
Yeah,
the black boy.
Why brother had to go one?
Huh?
Why the brother had to go?
I don't know. Well, they both died.
They're both gone?
Yeah.
So that's three.
Yeah. That's three. No, that's what I'm saying. So it's like I had but one of my best friends one of the first friends I met when I first came to Iowa passed away due to cancer. Then like my Panther died. Then that happened right after Thanksgiving of 2023. Then 2024, literally almost a year to the day, Lionel passed away with like some type of like lung cancer, essentially.
Wow.
And then
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's crazy. And
wild.
so it's like going back and like really thinking about those particular times. It's like every single time that I felt like I was healing myself or like getting back to where I was, it would always be something that would just take me off my edge. Because like I think my boy died in January. Because I was on my way to come see him, and then he died on the day that I was trying to get back home. He died in January
2024.
Yeah, 2024. 2023, I'm sorry.
Oh, so that was before that preceded like the fall.
Correct.
Okay.
And then I had like a year of nothing, which is great. And then Panther started getting sick, and so then he dies. Thanksgiving 2023. Then, you know, I go through this mourning period, of course, long mourning period. And then I'm slowly getting after that. And then now I come home in like August and, you know, Lionel can't even walk straight. And I'm like, what's going on here? So then I started freaking about that, but then I get on medicine. Then it's like hope again. And so then it's like, okay, cool. Oh, now let me bring in another pet and so I bought, you know, PJ, which is named after his brother, to like kind of balance everything out again.
Right.
And then sure enough, you know, a couple months later, she's gone. But I will say this, that death was a lot easier because I was mentally prepared for it to some degree, of where like she had been sick for about a week. Like really, really sick. Like I had to take her into the vet, and like, you know, it's just like, okay, feed her this if she's not eating and stuff to that degree. And so, and so like I had a little bit of time to like mentally prepare, but like hoping for the best, right?
Right.
And then, you know, I gave her to my vet, and then she didn't come back home. And so then, instead of like really, but I kind of, you know, mentally you kind of know, but you don't want to like think about that, right?
Yeah. You knew ahead of time, like
the possibility.
Yeah, right. When you sent her off to the
Correct.
vet, you
Correct.
were preparing yourself for the possibility.
Yes, of course.
maybe not that time, but like it was a matter of time.
For sure. And so it was one of those things of where like they can either save her, because that was kind of what the expectation was when they came over to see her. My vet comes to my house sometimes, and so because I couldn't really move her for real, and I didn't feel comfortable moving her.
Right.
And so they were like, well, we're going to do these things, and we're going to try to do these things, and then we'll just see where it goes, okay? And so, like, there was an expectation, which was very nice of them to do, an expectation that there's a possibility of death, but I didn't know. And so they gave me a little bit of hope, but then it was just also, you know, mentally prepare yourself for if the worst is to happen, you know, that it's going to be what it's going to be.
Right.
So, yeah, and so then, yeah, they didn't bring her back. And so then, like, immediately, instead of, like, going into, like, grief mode, I kind of, like, breathed. And then I was like, okay, let me go ahead and actually get PJ out of the bathroom now, clean up the bathroom, get him ready to be using that particular, you know, that litter box instead of the one that, you know, so I cleaned it out, did everything I was supposed to do to, like, get him acclimated to the big house now, because it's only me and him.
Yeah, only you and PJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, and so then, yeah. So that was a blessing and a curse of, like, really going through the bad breakup or the bad grief with Panther being gone, but then having, it prepared me for Lionel's death. You know what I mean? But then again, kind of very similar to when Panther died, because I didn't expect that. That's the same way I felt when. So it's just like feeling I can deal with it at one point, and then being reverted back to that really, really deep, dark grief that I felt when he passed. To the same way with my grandma, because I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't even thinking that she was going to be dying anytime soon.
Right.
That wasn't even a thought in my mind.
So even with that loss that you said that you had, even with those the three before your grandmother, did it any of that prepare you in any way?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not
it
at
wasn't
all.
even a rhythm. It wasn't even like muscle memory.
No.
Yeah.
Like it was. I wish it was like that. I wish I could say that it was like an aspect of like, okay, I've gone through this. Bye. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna, you know, get back.
I have something.
Exactly.
Something concrete to moor myself to, so that I don't get cast adrift.
Exactly.
But no.
And so,
no mooring.
No. There was no, okay, muscle memory. It wasn't like, okay, we went through this stuff again. Like, this is what we usually do.
Right.
Nah, because it was like, because again, just like Panther, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't mentally. That's the only reason why I think if Lionel had passed away kind of very similar to the way that Panther passed away, or it was like quick and sudden, of where like I'm not even mentally prepared to go down this route, then that would have been the exact same. I probably would have gone through the exact same type of dark grief. But having that moment, and even though it sucked at the time, I found that as a blessing, because it allowed me to like mentally fortitude my mind before knowing that I would be losing her.
Was it just was the notion of your grandmother passing away just an abstract concept at that point before? Like, was you not forecasting?
Wasn't even thinking about it.
You're just like, that's something that's
impossible.
That's a calendar flip way down the road. That's some abstract, not even a time that you're looking at on the horizon. It's just some other time.
I mean, like if she was gonna go, she would have been gone. You know what I mean?
That was your mind. That's what you were thinking.
Because it's like, bruh, this lady again broke her leg, climbed 16 flights of steps.
Right.
Did
like,
the inhuman thing. Yeah. Then
not till the Lord himself comes down and be like pinch her, just plucks her up, just like takes her up like that.
Exactly. Like during that first stint, had moments where she went in cardiac arrest, still made it through that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they're like organs failing all the time. I'm thinking I'm prepared for that. Like that's like where I'm like, okay, this is feeling regular. And then she made it through all that.
Right. Then like this can't be the time.
Yeah, because it was low blood pressure. What the just
right.
give her some insulin, we'll call it a day and take her back home.
Right.
type shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's had that issue, you know, since I've known her. But I mean, like, it ain't like something that it's not like what she's gone through, right? It's not, you know, body failing you and then you come back somehow.
Right.
This is just like
almost cinematic, like that kind of morbidity is cinematic because it's like
100%.
This big thing, that big thing.
Yeah.
It's like then you just like you can see it play out
for sure
in this heroic way.
For sure. And then now it's just like, oh, she just got low blood pressure. We just can't manage it no more. And then this is just it. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like how? Like does
it still not make any sense? Like right now?
I mean, when I'm thinking about all that she went through before, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like that's like I said, easy thing to solve, right? And then it's like, but then nothing works. It's like what? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And so like. So her death happens. I go home. I, you know, had this like really beautiful moment with my dad and parents and all that kind of stuff. And we, I mean, like, it's kind of crazy to think about how high strung everyone was during that particular period. Like I remember me and my
post
transition, me coming home for the funeral. Mm-hmm. And so like we had a lot of like.
And whose mom is this?
Oh, my dad's.
It's your dad.
Mother. So like, okay. I had lost my grandmother, my first grandmother. So like the first death I've ever had in my life was my mother's mother. Mom.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That was a tough one. But then but the difference, and I'm gonna get into that later. But the difference is that I was at home, like I was around people that I can drive like 2 hours away if I need to get to the house to just be consoled, right?
Right.
I had that space, so it was because I was just at Auburn. It wasn't, and that's not that far away from Birmingham. So it's like, oh, I can just skip hop. If I wanted to go home that day, I could have went home that day and actually been back the next day without an issue because it's that close.
Right. Okay.
But then with this, okay, so going back home was a little different because like everything felt so high. And what I mean by that is like everyone's emotions were like at the tippy top of where they could be.
Super raw, super sensitive, super hypervigilant, alert, the whole nine, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And so like even like sitting next to my father while the funeral is happening, it's just weird to see the man that you've only seen as like a very strong stoic, rarely drops a tear, doesn't really cry often, be next to him and like seeing him tear up and really like go through that emotion, you know what I mean? But also to see my grandmother, like, cause that's not the person I remember seeing last time I was at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was kikiing with you in your room, talking, you know, just talking to you and like having fun, and then like now I'm seeing you like this is like.
Yeah.
That's not
kind of waxy.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's very, very artificial.
Right. Because very rarely do they get it right.
No,
I mean,
100%.
no offense. I mean, big shout out to people that can deal more, you know, morticians and whatnot, because it's just not easy work. However, even if you were to make it seem like that person was asleep,
yeah,
there's just not the essence of their soul in them, and the memory. Like, because it isn't just, I think, the soul, if I may. It's everything that you see in them. It's
Sure.
You know, as family, as loved ones, it's that love that you project onto that person. And when that's gone, yeah, you just kind of looking at a wax figure.
It's the cadence, man. It's the cadence of how she spoke. It's the cadence of how she moved. It's the aspect of like the existence of her, you know, being within her. You know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, you know what I mean? Like I needed that. I wanted to see that.
Right.
But it was no longer there. It was just a vessel, a body.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything. It wasn't my grandmother. Right.
That's why I don't like wakes. When my grandmother, when my grandmother passed away, well, one of my grandmothers, I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to the wake. I'm not. Yeah. Because that's not what I'm here for. Yeah. I don't need to see that object.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's not her.
It is an object to some degree.
Yeah, for sure.
and yet we still place importance on that object, as we do in most things.
It's a human thing.
Exactly. And so, but no, it was just a weird aspect. But then the beauty of it, right, is that, you know, my family always finds a way to have fun at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had, you know, family over and.
Okay. In spite of like that energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So we had a day to ourselves where like we can kind of like just as a family, like what we did, went to like the little party after the thing, the repast. And then like we had like a little, after that night, after we got done with that, it was kind of like, we're kind of all spent. We don't need to. Let's just go home and just be at, you know, the Grays, just be with the Grays kind of stuff. Like, but we knew we were planning on doing something the next day for my Seals family, which is like my mother's side of the family, so they can all come over and like you kind of be with us and joke around and have a good time.
Yeah,
and that was awesome. It was beautiful. Still not my favorite repast that I've had in my life, but. Still top two.
Yeah, top two.
Oh, number one was when my other grandma passed away. Your mom's mom. That was like a weekend of like just drinking with all my uncles. Like, all my cousins came in. It felt like summer. You know what I mean? Like it felt like
a true celebration of life.
Oh,
like a festival of life.
100%.
What's the difference? Like what do you have a theory? On the difference.
Why they were different?
Yeah, why there's so much tension around your dad's mom as opposed to your mom's mom?
Well, because like it was a place that we were into, right? Yeah. So that means
like geographically?
Yeah, because we were at my grandma's house. This was we took place. The other one took place at our house, which is like not. I mean, even though we have Christmas parties there and there's still festivities that go on, and it is a central location point for fun. Yeah. That place is it's on a different scale. Like, I always go down, every single time I go home, I have to make a stop at my grandmother's house. I have to. Mainly because that place is like a sacred space for me because of so many memories and like so many like funny moments that I've had. Because my mom's side of the family is huge. So she's like one of 10. So you're talking about like at least.
One of them families.
Yeah, exactly. So you're talking about 3 or 4 kids from each, and some people got 5. Right. So it's just like you know, it's all of that mixed in, and like you're having cohorts that we had for like, and so then think about all those people being in one space, and the house ain't that big. It's very like everyone is around each other, just cracking jokes, making fun of like, you know, talking about these things that grandma did, and it was just like this like. But then we're also like drinking. We're also like outside. You know, my cousins are trying to settle beefs that they've had for like 10 years. They're trying
to run a fair one in the yard and whatnot.
Exactly.
Tussling.
Like, yeah, exactly. Well, just trying to like hoop. Yeah. And like to see like 32-year-old dudes just hoop at when I was like 20 was the most funniest thing I've ever asked for. But it was just a party. Every single, like, we would just get there like around noon. Everyone would get some food, and then we just kicking it till like 12 or midnight. You know what I mean? Right. It was a full-time affair, and so that's, I think, and this one was kind of like more subdued. My dad's side of the family was a little bit smaller. And all my other cousins couldn't come to this thing. So it was kind of like very selective. I still had a good time, but it was just like one of those things where it just wasn't as vibrant in which I would want something to be, if that makes any sense. Yeah. And so that's kind of what that temperature was. But then like what kind of like put everything to a head, it was like me and my dad had a little issue, a little tiff. But then, like, I feel like it got amplified because of what we were both going through. Yeah. And the aspect of, like...
Was it pre-existing?
I mean, it's always things of, like, you know, because I was telling him how, like, terrible the job that I had was. It was kind of, like, draining me. It wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. And, like, how I wasn't really feeling fulfilled within it. And, like, I was telling him, I was like, I think I'm just going to get rid of the job because it doesn't feel... It's not really filling my soul. Type stuff. And I was like, I'm going to be looking for something else, but I'm not going to get out of it immediately, but I'm going to try to make an adjustment. And he was trying to, like, you know how, like, sometimes your father can try to, like, mold you into, like, or force you to do something that without listening to you. Like, he's not listening. It's more about like telling you like why your decision is wrong. It's like, Dad, I didn't ask you for that. All I ask you to do is just listen to me, and that's it. And you're not listening. So it's kind of like that aspect of like him not understanding how to listen.
Yeah,
and
because
like,
you weren't asking for advice.
No,
I
I wasn't.
I just need to.
I'm just gonna tell you something.
Let me get this off my chest.
Yeah,
real quick.
exactly. I just want to talk to you about something that I'm thinking about. I didn't ask for your opinion. I didn't ask for any of that. I just want you to be here with me. And that was another thing, because like I kind of like broke down crying during that particular time. I was like, Dad, I just want you to be here and console me. Like, and like I had to like teach him how to like put his arm around my shoulders just to have that comfort. Because like all that's all I want from you, Father. But like, that's all I want is my dad to like comfort me right now. Even though I know that you're going through we're both going through something like that, so we can console each other in that aspect. Because I'm here with you is the same way you here with me. And so
he did not have practice. I take it from that he didn't have practice doing that.
Nah.
Like, this is brand new. You said you're stoic. Even at the funeral, it was a surprise for you to see him to shed tears and express emotion.
For sure. And like, I mean, like it's just a way that I've never seen him, and it's just like I've always been that emotional person, and like some might say I might be too emotional, which I don't think I don't even think that's possible, to be honest. But I don't know. I just don't shy away from the feelings that I have, like because I've tried to do that, and it's only reverted into negativity and bad situations. But that being said, because of that issue and that thing that we went through, I think it brought us a lot closer, and there was a lot of deeper understanding of that. So like, if there's something positive that came out of that particular moment of my grandmother passing, was like that beautiful relationship that I had with him, and that beautiful, even though, you know, somewhat tumultuous at that time, it was just really beautiful to just see him understand what I was trying to get at. It took him a minute, but to indulge and to, you know, give me the support that I needed in the way that I needed it, right? Because like, I think there's sometimes that we think that people know or they should know, but sometimes you have to instruct people how to love or how you want to be loved too as well. Yeah,
love there are a lot of, when you love a person and you're committed to a person or in relationship with a person, and this is across the board, I think we have a lot of expectations and assumptions that get in the way. I feel like it's a common trap.
For sure.
Like, you supposedly love me so much, you know me so much, we've been around each other. Like, why do I have to explain this?
Yeah, exactly.
Why isn't this a reflex?
Exactly. And see, that was my main issue, was like, how do you not know this? And like, I've been your son for 34 years. Like, how do you not know how I need to be consoled? Like, how do you not? I know my mom does, but like, how do you not know? Like, I don't. I'm very confused in that aspect.
Well, he had never done it before.
For sure.
Your mom had, I assume.
100%.
She had consoled you way.
For sure.
Forever ago.
No, 100%. I mean, she does it all the time sometimes, but
yeah.
And so I mean, that's something that I'm working on. It's like trying to get him into the fold of where he can also perform that same task as well, and holding him to that task too. It's like, I mean, like, just because you're my dad doesn't mean I don't need you as a father too. At the same time, like, just because I'm out of the house doesn't mean I don't need my father.
Wait, say that again? You said just because you're my dad doesn't mean I don't need you as a father too?
Yeah.
Like, shed some light on that.
As in,
Please.
What I mean by that is this aspect of like, just because I'm out of the house doesn't mean that I don't need your presence around or to be felt by you. And so that means phone calls. That means a aspect of like knowing that you're there when I need to talk to you about something, or knowing that, you know, just because I'm in Iowa doesn't mean I wouldn't want to hear your voice, or I wouldn't want you to call me occasionally just to check in or stuff to that degree. And like, I can firmly deny that or say that he has been doing that a lot of like actually being there in that aspect beyond just, okay, Cam's coming into town and this is how we're going to spend time. It's like, no, I need to give my son his attention too when he's not here, just to make sure that he knows that I'm supporting him like physically, emotionally, whatever he needs that support in. you know, mentally.
Yeah. So the difference between, like, it seems like you're eliminating the difference between, like, dad, which is almost possessive in a relationship. You're my dad, and that's what I mean. That's what you mean to me.
Yeah.
That's what we mean to each other.
Yeah.
That is the marker for, like, what connects us. But father is the mantle. It's the vocation.
For sure.
It's like what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
With me as your son. Like,
Yeah.
those two things interact with one another. Like father son, you expecting a certain interaction because of that.
Yeah, because anybody can be a dad, I think. But
Because it's relational.
No, 100%.
It's relational, and you could make the point that, like, father's relational, but, like, when you use the term with a capital F, we're talking about
100%.
something else. And besides the lower, like, the difference between, like, a lowercase f on a birth certificate and, like, a capital F father is vocational. It's like there are things that maybe I might expect of you to do.
For sure.
To fulfill those terms.
I think it's harder to be a father
Oh,
than
for
it
sure.
is to be a dad. I mean, like, again, it's being a dad. I feel is purely a biological definition of what you are. But a father is a person who accepts that, but then goes beyond, how am I molding this son? How am I making sure that this son is okay? How am I making sure that he gets his needs met regardless? But then how can I bring my son up when he needs, when I can recognize that he's down? How can I, knowing all of those things is what makes you truly a father. I would say, in my mind, not being one, but aspirationally, that is things that I'm taking into account of, like, how I want to raise, or when I am a part of that lineage and creating my own story in that aspect. That's what I want, and that's what I'm aspiring to be.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
It does. It does.
But so that happened, and then I mean, like, and kind of going in line with what we were talking about before I got on the plane, because he took me to the thing and we talked about, thank you. I even thanked him for, even though I had to instruct you, I still appreciate you being there when I needed that consoling.
That's beautiful.
And can
I ask you a question? Do you think that moment would have happened without your grandmother transitioning?
Nah, because then we wouldn't have. I don't think we would have been emotionally raw enough to actually have a discussion like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have just popped up like, hey.
No.
Like, just call them about it, the clear blue. Like, I have a real deep, emotional, raw conversation that I want to have with you.
For sure. And I mean, I think I think the conversation would have happened, but I don't think the emotion that we were both giving to each other, or the exchange that we were having, probably would not have been as heightened as if it was, I would tell him that, and then he might say something, and then instead of me actually addressing what he said, I might have just internalized it and been like, okay, Dad, like, just shrugged it off and not have demanded the aspect of or having that talk of, like, what does listening to me actually mean? Because I think there's a lot of things that come into the aspect of, like, listening as in help. And it's like, I don't need your help. I don't need any of that, like, monetary or anything like that degree. I just need you to be there for me, type shit. Like, I don't need anything else beyond you just existing with me.
Yeah. Just literally just listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Full stop.
But that then gave way to me telling him, like, really being vulnerable with him on the way back. I was like, Dad, I'm scared about going back. And he's like, why? I was like, because I don't have anybody here. Like, I don't have anybody where, like, y'all, like, you're still mourning, but, like, you have my mother, you have my brother, you have your niece, you got all that. And then I'm thinking about my sister. Like, my sister it's her and her boyfriend, so she always has somebody in the house. My brother has my parents because he can just easily he's only 20 minutes up the road, so he can just come down whenever he wants. Me, it's just like, I go home and it's just a room and a cat. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, and
this is on the way to the airport.
Yeah, I already knew. It wasn't gonna be good. I already knew it wasn't gonna be good.
That sounds like two different griefs.
What you mean?
Like, it seems like that you're dealing with the grief, the larger grief of your grandmother not being in the physical plane, that physical transition. And then you're grieving, like you have the grief of being alone and being by yourself, and like what that's gonna do, how you're gonna navigate that, what that's gonna do to you, how you're gonna handle it, tend to it, what have you. It seems like not just part of the thing, not just part of the grief. It seems like another brick, another thing in and of itself.
I mean, that's exactly what it was. I feel like, when I was so afraid. I was so scared. And
to be alone?
Yeah, I don't know. I've done it before when Panther died, right? Mm-hmm. But the way I was coping with it was bad. Mm-hmm. Like, I was literally not at home at all.
Just out and about, you out there wilding?
Say what?
So you're out and about, you're out there wilding?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I was having a good time.
Okay.
But I mean, like, at the same time, it wasn't like constructive.
Yeah.
It was more, okay, I know these people are going to be out because a lot of other people were going through a lot of things at the same time.
You could tell you were medicated. You knew. You weren't lying, so you knew you were medicated.
1,000%. And so then like going into it, understanding the way I treated Panther's death, I was like, okay, that is something I cannot do again.
Right.
I can't do that again. No. And so instead of going, I mean, I did go out, but I was like really mindful of like, am I going, and like I was talking to my therapist about this, like, am I going out to numb myself, or am I going out because I just want to have fun with friends? And I think those two things are two different things. Mm-hmm. And the aspect of knowing that I'm going out to get fucked up and just be off my rocker. Right. Because I just don't want to feel sad. Right. And then knowing that when I go home, I can just pass out and not have to think about, me losing, my pet. Mm-hmm. And so then I was like, okay, I'm going to actually do this because I want to be around people. And so then I went, I would go out and everything would be fine, but then like I still would feel numb, like it wouldn't do anything. Like even though I'm drinking, I'm still like I just couldn't feel anything.
Even with the conscientious and conscious decision to say, all right, this is not the numb time. This is not the medication going out night. This is the let's just enjoy our friends, our community type of night. Even with that, the setting of the intention, it still was like, I still don't feel it. I
don't feel anything. Like it's still, it was weird because I'm like, I want to feel something, right? Yeah. I want to feel. And so, sometimes I would, in those aspects, I would look for it in different places, like physical touch. And like, I wasn't getting that. I wasn't getting, because I needed that.
I was going to say, what were you trying to feel? Anything?
Something. I just wanted to be consoled, essentially. I just wanted to be held. Mm-hmm. And no one was doing that for me. And so.
Were you asking?
Huh?
I said, were you asking?
Yes, I was. And I was like, because I was talking to somebody at the time, and I was like, can you please just come over? Like, can you please just come over and like just be with me or just sit with me? And like, you don't need to do anything. I just want somebody else in my house with me. And it would be like this rigmarole, like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And it's like, dang, like, I know for a fact if you were going through it, I would be like, it wouldn't even be a question for me. Right. Whether it be like, someone, if it means me losing sleep, but it means that you're in a safer space because you had me around, it's not even a question. You know what I mean?
I mean, was that the bellwether? Was that the bang bong for the end of that relationship?
I mean, it had to be. It had to be because it was just like I can't do this. I can't. Yeah. Like.
That's a pretty fundamental thing when you're in relationship with a person or in like emotional partnership with a person, like to be able to be vulnerable around them, to have consolation is just like, it's one of those things.
Yeah. I mean, it's a perk of it. It's supposed to be a perk of it.
Right. It's one of the deals. It's like, It's on the list
Exactly.
of emotional intimacy with another human.
And so then that even tore me down further, right? Of
Yeah.
like, it's like, okay. And then like you try to reach out to other people and then like, then they don't have time. And so then it's just like, well, like, then what am I supposed to do then? Like, am I just supposed to, I'm trying to do the things that my therapist always says. Reach out. Don't keep yourself in a hole. Like, just tell people and hopefully somebody will, show up and like help.
Yeah.
And then like when nobody does and you're just there, it's just like, damn, like, all right.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do then?
No, I mean,
asking.
that's what I'm saying. So so instead of getting better, it just got worse.
Mm-hmm.
And like, where I would just cry all the time. And then like with that job that I had, like I literally lost it because I was like, I can't physically work right now. Like my mind is too broken right now for me to even think about doing the tasks that I would have to do in that particular job. And then like I would slow everybody down. There would be no reason for me even being there. I would be a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
I can't work like this because I'm not even in my own body.
Right.
How do you expect me to perform a task of a job that I'm like, I can't even, like, I can't feel this. I can't feel my hands touching each other. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't do anything right now.
Yeah.
Even though I want to, I don't want to be feeling this way.
Would you have talked to your grandmother if this was another loss, if you were mourning someone else or something else?
Nah, she wasn't that kind of person.
You weren't the person that you would confide in.
No. I would confide in my mother, but like my grandmother was a character.
Yeah.
I love wasn't the nicest as when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a child, was kind of, some might say a little mean.
A little mean.
But I mean, like that's just
An old veteran. She done been through a thing or two. She done seen a thing or two. So
exactly.
She a little war weary.
For sure. You grow up during the tail end of the Great Depression, leading into the literally parents were sharecroppers.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then like, then you get into the civil rights movement that's happening in your backyard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
like,
real. Like Jim Crow, the whole nine.
Exactly. So your perception of how black people should function is instilled within the only things that you've seen, right?
Right.
And so us growing up at a time that we did, like in the early 2000s, and like really coming to conscious in the early 2000s, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
there's a transition that is happening to black consciousness at that particular time. I feel like a lot of, from the music to the way we dress, there was a lot more freeing aspect of body autonomy, if that makes any sense, of trying to go against these particular norms that our parents had instilled within us.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, I mean, that was, the ludicrous era where people actually grew their hair out, a lot of fros. You're seeing,
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing Allen Iverson with his fro and like braids and all this other things of what that goes against. Like my dad never let us do that with our hair, even though we wanted to, of the aspect, because he had an idea of what clean, because he's thinking more about acceptance within the confines of a white world.
Right.
When we're just
getting past the gate.
Huh?
So getting past the gate.
Exactly. And so then, but we're thinking about just trying to live and like just have body autonomy of like being free of our own understanding of what blackness is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of like, we're seeing blackness has now become cool, and this is what we're trying to assimilate instead of trying to keep a white eye on us at all times. You know what I mean? We don't even care about the white eye anymore. We're just trying to exist within our own selves.
Like I ain't gonna wear no medium.
Yeah.
No
give me
large.
Give me that XL.
No extra large. Like
Give
you
me
better
that
throw
2X.
a few more X's in front of that.
Exactly. I wanna wear a dress without wearing
Liberation
a dress. Yes, exactly.
through X's.
Exactly.
Like they took our X from us.
For sure.
So we added 3, 4, 5 more X's in front of that L. They took Malcolm from us.
You got to.
So we got to have a quadruple XL.
You got to. So it's like understand. So like again, coming from that mind frame, you can see the aspect of like where she also had like body issues too, of like, and then when they kind of put that on other people in my family, which I didn't really fuck with, because I was just like, why are you doing this to something that that you love type stuff. And so then,
like, cover up, don't wear that. Like, look at you,
yeah,
you ain't gonna get no job.
like,
but look at you look fast.
Just
look,
exactly.
You got your ass hanging out.
Let her be. Let her be. And so,
let her wear her mini skirt and her choker.
Exactly.
Choker came back.
Yeah, let's live a life, because it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that the elders of the church are probably gonna have to say, but she don't be dressed like that at church anyway. So I don't even know why you tripping.
Right.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Anyway. So like, but fast forward after the accident has happened, and like things have like kind of subsided, and like things have gotten a little like I think like and I always joked, my mom was like, dang, like she had to break a leg before she became like this very like nice and loving, and like really like it almost like after that situation, she just turned into like a different person completely.
Really?
I don't know what happened. Well, I mean, I know what happened, but I mean, like, it was just like a
like, you don't know me like metaphysically. You
no,
you don't know metaphysically have like what epiphany happened.
But it was like a complete transition. I'm like, who is this woman? Like,
so she wasn't mean anymore?
No, she wasn't. She wasn't mean at all. She was so much more open and like patient and kind and all these things. And I'm like, why weren't you this the whole time?
The whole time.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of like grief from that too? Like that era? Did you want that era to be longer?
No, I mean,
obviously, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel like that you were robbed again, I'm trying to like go big scale and then maybe compartmentalize the very specific grief as well. I tried to prepare a little bit. I wanted it to be free form, this conversation, because I know that, you asked me for this conversation. I think that it's beautiful that you did. I really appreciate it. But I wanted to be prepared and think about grief a little bit. And I was like listening to this cat, Lama Rod Owens. And this brother that is a Buddhist practitioner. And he talks about grief and grieving a bunch of different things. Talks about tending to grief. And I've heard people refer to like grief as this separate thing, like a baby, or your anger as a baby, or like, instead of it like this thing that's happening to you, think of it as an object or a person or an entity. And with that, he talks about grief as this thing that you can do, and mourning is something you can do with all losses, with even the small things that might hurt your feelings, even that, and using that to process, and I would say metabolize, and I got this from like a comrade in like sort of an Africana studies cohort, and she just talks about how it's important to metabolize certain feelings, metabolize grief, metabolize angst, anguish, and these things.
Is it the theory that once you metabolize and it gets within your system, it's easier to deal with?
Yeah. And not only easier to deal with, but for me, metabolizing of grief and mourning is a way to truly incorporate the thing into yourself, so that you embody the good from the experience. You embody the good from the person. Yeah. A friend of mine is going through a grief just like you right now. We're talking about that. I told him, I was like, I don't think you have a way to metabolize your losses. He's used to gaining. He's used to acquiring. He's used to like having it. And he has a ruthless drive to get the thing. And so he doesn't let stuff go. And so that's to his detriment, because the losses, when he does actually get hurt, when he is, feeling less than a juggernaut, he doesn't know how to he doesn't know how to process it. He doesn't know how to metabolize it and incorporate it, like go through the experience, incorporate it that you would incorporate any substance, any other, an experience, and embody like whatever nutrition you gain from it, whatever good from it, embody that, incorporate that, and subsist and exist after that, knowing that you've knowing that you've digested the thing.
Yeah. I think that's such an interesting point, because I think that's something that I've like been a lot more aware of like, I mean, there's a lot of things within my life I think I have not mourned yet. And they all are kind of coming to a head right now. And it's like, it sucks because I'm like thinking about, man, like 2021, I was living large. You know what I mean? I didn't have a care in the world. Everything was in its place. I was feeling good, you know, socially I was feeling good. Artistically, I was feeling good in all these different moments, right? And then people started dying. And then it's just like I started to get away from that thing, or like, oh, I'll do it next year. Or like I'm putting things away, not realizing the effects that it would have on me later, in the aspect of financials, all that other stuff, because I couldn't deal with it. I had enough money in my pocket to where I can, like, if I don't want to do anything today or for a couple of months, I'll be fine. And unfortunately, that put me in a worse situation now, not even understanding or even expecting my grandmother to die. You know what I mean? And so, and what's funny is that I was on my way, again, that's the same way I was on my way out of grief before she passed. I was on my way out of this particular rut that I felt myself to be in. And then, again, I get the rub.
Get chop blocked.
Exactly. Without me, like, blindsided, essentially. Without getting hit, without me even knowing. And so then it's just like, it puts me in even a worse situation, because then it's like, dang, like I can't even, I'm still trying to manage this thing or try to get back to where I was, but then I also need to rest. I also need to take care of myself. I need to build myself back up. And so it's like hard to like be able to like go forward and be like, okay, let's get back on track and like do the thing. But you don't even want to do the thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even want to, like, you don't even have the energy to go forward, even if you wanted to go forward. Right. And so then I've had moments of where, like, I'll just be at home at one night and I'll just look at wrestling videos, or like I'll look at, you know, the artwork that I made in 2021 and just be reminiscing about that, and just end up crying sometimes. Yeah. Of being like, dang, like I had it. You know what I mean? It felt like I had it in my hand. And then all of this death happens, and then I lost it. And the issue that I'm realizing is that I talked to my therapist about it, and she's like, Cam, like, you have to also, it's like, one thing she always tells me is like, one thing you have to remind yourself is that death happened to you. It wasn't because of you. So like, these issues or these things that happened was because death happened to you. You didn't lose anything. It was just, you just got rocked. So like, don't blame yourself for not being able to go past, because you were going through something even more, you know, going through something terrible. So you can't blame yourself for something that you can't control. You know what I mean? Like, it's an involuntary action that was taken upon you or happened to you that was out of your control. Right. And so you can't be mad at yourself that you don't have what you used to have, because you had no control over what was going to happen in your life. You've never experienced anything that traumatic to that extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that underscores, that highlights and highlighter, big ass bold letters, how important it is to take care of yourself, and not in a self-care branding sense with the little trademark icon, but like truly have a relationship with yourself where you can take care of yourself and you're nurturing yourself, because without that consistent relationship with yourself, or that partnership with yourself where you're caring, nurturing yourself, like, you're just going to get beat over and over and over again. Because that's one thing that's consistent, is like, there will be people dying. I mean, there will be, like, life is going to whoop your ass no matter what. Nobody makes it through life without getting their ass whooped. True. Emotionally, spiritually, the whole nine. And so knowing that that's coming, knowing that you don't necessarily know when it's coming, it forces us to say, all right, then what is the thing that I can trust? Can I trust myself? Yeah. can I trust myself enough to be there for me when I'm really out there bad?
Yeah.
Or out there bad shit, the metaphor, in there bad.
Yeah.
Like you could be out there bad or not going anywhere and be inside of yourself, be retreated in yourself, in there real bad. Like, what is my relationship with myself? What am I going to do? And that is hard.
No,
because it's so easy to console. I'm sure it's easy for you to console other people.
Oh, easy. Very, very easy.
And yet it sounds like it was like, it's hard as a motherfucker for you to console yourself.
I can't. It's almost impossible. It feels impossible. Look, I know tricks of the trade. I can put on a movie or something and be like, okay, this feels good. And this is kind of what, because it's kind of usually what I do every single night. It's just like, okay, what mood am I feeling like today? Am I feeling, I want to learn something? I'll put on some National Geographics and I'll just watch, I don't know, like birds fly and like figure out the world of the animal kingdom. Or am I feeling like I want to put on a thriller or a horror film that just brings me joy to watch, or that I find really funny, or something to that degree. And so like I can always put on wrestling or something like that, or a wrestling documentary where people are talking about wrestling. That can always get me out of it because I find that so fascinating. Because again, we've been in the dark for 20 years of my life, and so to actually understand how these things that mystified me, or like seeing
about the world of kayfabe and wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I feel like wrestling and like pimp documentaries, like wrestling documentaries and pimp documentaries, like people are missing out on like true underpinnings of life. Yeah. Of the kind of the swindles that are inherent in life. Yeah. At the marketplace and the political, with the political economy. Like if you are not watching wrestling documentaries or pimp documentaries, you'll have a fundamental understanding what they're really up to, just at the grassroots level. You don't need to read a bunch of theory from the pundits and have a political science degree. For you, I feel like wrestling documentaries and pimp wrestling, like how the sausage is made, and pimps, kayfabe and pimping. I will add another one. Music, that like hearing artists talk about, like especially like I think I watched one not too long ago about De La Soul, and when they collaborated with like MF Doom, and like what that session was like. And so like stuff like that, I think also like can lend the eye into the business, but then also can tell you about the beauty of what's in there and the possibility of the beauty in there, but then also the tragedy of a lot of those situations based off of, when the business gets in interplay, right? Mm-hmm. And so I love. Both of those can take me out of myself because I'm learning something about these artists that I already appreciate, but I get to see them in a different facet or a different light than I had already put them in. It's almost like they're owning their light to some degree, or owning their own identity right in front of you. Yeah. If that makes any sense, of like, we have placed an identity upon you, but actually now I'm excited to hear what you have to say about yourself, or what you have to say about your own existence through your own word, when you don't have to play kayfabe. You can actually just be who you are, rather than the Undertaker or Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. Which I find really fascinating. And so those two things can like get me out of it, because it forces me to really think about other outwardly instead of inwardly, right? Mm-hmm. And so instead of me mentally thinking about my own things that I'm going through, or not being able to get past my own grief, this allows me to just be, okay, let me see what they were going through. And then some of that has really helped me, because a lot of them have talked about grief and like talked about losing their parents and not losing all those kind of things. And so it also makes me feel that I'm not alone in my own experience of this particular thing, of like this idea of always chasing something, just trying to feel something, or trying to chase that dragon, when exactly, that you shouldn't be doing that. You should just be sitting your ass down and just like actually just like meditating, or doing something else that can, like reading, or doing something else that is a little bit more constructive to get out of that grief, rather than trying to like rush through it. And kind of like we were talking about before about metabolizing grief, I think because of this long stint, I feel like I have a better grasp on
my own understanding of what it was to me and how I went, but then also how to manage myself. Like, I feel like if you're going to talk to me, we're going to ask me how was I feeling, if I could see myself being where I'm at right now at this particular stage back then, I was like, no, I'm gonna be dealing with this for at least a couple more, a couple more months. I'm still be going through this. But then, like, a month ago, I just finally did my dishes that I haven't done since Panther died. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I can see the positive aspects of my life starting to come back to me,
of course,
which is really beautiful. But like you said, you got to eat it, right? You got to digest it.
Yep.
And so that it's a part of my being, and now I can help other people get through it. So, like, that was the reason why, like, I really wanted to talk about Black grief, is the aspect of, like, especially in the work that I'm making now, it's about this aspect of, like, showing Black people that you're not alone, bro. Like, you're not. I know you're possibly going through something that you've just pushed down, but I'm going to create a space where you can see my grief, so that it opens you up to be able to acknowledge your own. Because once you acknowledge it and actually discuss what it actually is, it actually helps you get through it easier than just denying it, of being like, oh, I'm not, I'm over it, I'm past it.
Like, are you really?
Exactly. But no, and so, like, that.
We can come back.
But
we can revisit maybe. But,
yeah, for sure. But that was the main reason for having this pod. I think it's good for especially Black folks to hear.
Yeah, to talk
people
about.
Discuss it, and then hopefully my hope is that through this discussion and people listening to it, that I made it out and you can too, and we're here to support you if you need it. So
I love that. I love to hear that. I'm glad you reached out.
Yeah. I needed to talk about this shit, so I appreciate you providing the space.
Absolutely, because somebody's gonna see themselves in you.
For sure.
Somebody's gonna see themselves in this experience, and to just be heard. I think, not necessarily have a solution.
Yeah.
I don't know that we solved grief in one conversation, but like somebody is gonna listen to this and remember that experience, or maybe they're going through it. They might be on the precipice about losing losing someone or something, and I think it was right on time for you to say, listen, the South got something to say.
Well, I mean, like, I appreciate that. But it's also the aspect of, like, I've been having these conversations in a vacuum, right? Mm-hmm. Of, like, where it's just been me talking to me in my home about, like, what I'm going through, and trying to really come up with the best way of, like, describing it. And, like, I felt with you, because we've had multiple conversations with one another. I just thought that, like, if I was to actually, like, to put it in front of you and, like, really discuss these emotions and these things that I've been dealing with, I feel like there would be a moment of, first off, validation that I'm not going crazy. I'm not going insane.
Not any more crazy than anybody else.
But then also this aspect of providing a space to talk about, the pitfalls of it, what I do during those pitfalls, and what it looked like for me, but then also the positive aspects of what grief can bring to your life. You know what I mean? Like, this is only a chapter, right? This is not going to be me. I'm not going to be in this chapter forever, but this is a very important chapter of my life. And
absolutely,
to make sure that if other people are going through the same thing I'm going through, is that to remind them of that. This is just one moment that you're having. Even though it feels like it's going to last forever, it won't. And you'll be stronger than you were before. So
that's dope. I think I'll give you the last, just say your grandmother's name. I guess we do. I mean, we don't have any libations to pour out, but I feel like that'll be the last word. And I say my piece now. Peace, y'all. And we'll give your grandmother the last.
Yeah, rest in peace, Bama Gray. I love you a lot, and I miss you dearly.